in San Antonio, so Westbrook could potentially still beat Magic's record. Stephen A., how impressed are you by this feat?
Well, I'm definitely impressed with the season that Russell Westbrook has had. If you remember, prior to the season, I picked him to be my league MVP before we saw Steph Curry go on an explosion for the ages. But he still has had a phenomenal year. I don't put much stock in last night because it was against the Lakers, you know, the modern-day version of an AAU squad. But the point is that when I look at Russell Westbrook overall and the job that he has done, there is no doubt that he has proven to be every bit as phenomenal as I thought he would be. He has become a better distributor. He's become more unselfish. He's become more prolific in his own way. He's still learning to play the point guard spot. That's the amazing part about him, because with all of his greatness, he still has some maturation, room for maturation. And to sit there and to see him do what he has done, this is something that he can do regularly if he so chooses. And so, you know, I just tip my cap to him. He's about 4 to 5 inches shorter than Magic Johnson, but obviously a better athlete. I believe that Russell Westbrook is the greatest athletic point guard that I've ever seen. It was a debate between him and a healthy Derrick Rose once upon a time. But Russell Westbrook is on another level, and he deserves a lot of praise and a lot of accolades for what he's done.
I agree with everything you just said. Before I amplify on my comments, let me say one thing about the statistic known as the triple-double. This is my pet peeve. There's one component of it that cheapens triple-doubles, and that's the scoring stat, in which you only need to score 10-plus points to have a triple-double. And to me, Stephen A., it's too easy to score 10 points. It's why Jason Kidd had so many triple-doubles. It was easy. You know, Jason, not much of a scorer or shooter. Some nights he would have 11 points, 12 assists, 13 rebounds, whatever it was. You know, that was Jason Kidd's game, but he wasn't a big enough scorer. That it should be 20 points to have a triple-double. To me, that would be more impressive if you required the stat to have 20-point-plus night. But now back to Russell Westbrook, who obviously led the league in scoring last year at 28.1. Much of that year played without Kevin Durant, and I'm glad you brought it up. You did say before the year you thought he could win MVP. Obviously, Steph took it up a notch, and Steph now deserves not only back-to-back MVPs. To me, he's the most improved player in the league. They won't give it to him, but he deserves that award also. But I said to you the day you picked Russell, I said that'll be over Kevin Durant's dead body. So he has had to pull it back a little bit because his scoring has dropped about almost 5 points a game, down to 23.5. So he has pulled back a little bit on the scoring to re-engage with Kevin Durant in the offense. So what's highly impressive to me is these are career highs for Russell Westbrook of 7.8 rebounds a game and now 10.4 assists. And I have had my doubts about Russell from day one being a true, pure, distributing point guard. He always came off to me as more two-guard than point guard. But I got to tell you, if you're going to average 10 assists for a year, 10.4, that means you really worked hard on this, and you're really starting to get a hold of something that I thought was more of a you're either born with it kind of a gift or not. You can't coach it or teach it, the ability to distribute the basketball, your vision. But he's got it. It's getting better to me by the dribble. By the night, I watched the whole game last night. He made some really sweet passes that were point guard passes, albeit against the AAU team, as you called the LA Lakers. But still, to get 10-plus assists in the first half, that's pretty great. And I think he's come a long way. And I dread him tonight at San Antonio against my Spurs, 8 o'clock TNT, because he could break Magic's record tonight with one more triple-double. And I assume that he's going to go for it tonight. I could be wrong. This is their last game. San Antonio still has a game at Dallas tomorrow night. Look for Boban Marjanovic to be playing in that game, and maybe the C team for the Spurs. But I think the Spurs will all play tonight. I could be wrong. And I think Russell Westbrook will be on a triple-double tear tonight to try to break Magic's record, because that's just how Russell rolls, man. That's what he's made of.
Yeah. It would be nice to see, to be quite honest with you, but whether he gets it or not, he deserves all the praise that he's getting right now.
Yep.
It won't be enough to win a championship, I don't believe.
Yep.
But I hope I wouldn't mind being wrong. I wouldn't mind seeing Russell Westbrook and Kevin
Yep.
Durant back in the finals, especially since they were my preseason pick before
Yep.
Golden State went on its road.
That's true. But in the end, how Russell and Kevin click and blend and feed off each other and sort of fit with each other in the playoffs will tell the tale. And I'm just not sure about that.
Let's stay in the NBA. Speaking of the playoffs, LeBron has been on a tear. Since he took a social media blackout, he's been lights out on the court. Nobody can stop him. What's going on with King James and the Cavs? We'll get into that next. All right, Von Miller responding to Manziel on Instagram with a picture of Johnny and himself saying, LOL, you guys are hilarious. Haha, I love it. Johnny's not staying with me, but he is my brother. Like I've said 1,000 times, I got his back no matter what. Hashtag love. And Johnny replied to Miller saying this, family portrait for real. My bad, V. We were looking for some houses together. Didn't mean to get you caught up. Love you. Kill it tonight, Miller. Currently in L.A., performing on Dancing with the Stars. Saw him perform last night, did a fantastic job, side note, but he's not living with Manziel. As Skip had first mentioned on Friday's show, Manziel is living in L.A. off of Sunset Boulevard with Josh Gordon. Skip, what do you make of it?
Stephen A. Smith, if I were John Elway or any other National Football League GM or coach, and I witnessed the video we just witnessed again because we all probably saw it last night. If I saw that video, I would immediately think, no to Johnny Manziel. If I were anybody in the National Football League who has known Johnny when he's right, and a lot of NFL people, certainly before his draft, got to know the mature, well-spoken, clear-headed Johnny Manziel, and they saw that, they just say no to Johnny Manziel because that was scary to me. I know the good Johnny. That was the wrong Johnny. That guy was, let us say, different. That guy wasn't himself. I'm not exactly sure what altered state he was in, but he wasn't in the right state to me. And that's what's become more and more wrong with Johnny Manziel. I'm going to say this again. If somebody asked me to put together a video to convince NFL teams why not to sign a controversial, troubled young quarterback named Johnny Manziel, I would just piece together snippets of cell phone video or TMZ video inside or outside of nightclubs from Miami to Dallas to Las Vegas to now Hollywood. Is this West Hollywood? I think it is.
It's West Hollywood.
Nice guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And Stephen A., I would just show that video to everybody in the NFL, and they would just say no to Johnny Manziel. Not only, how about, what did he say about John Elway? Good dude? Good dude? Really? Okay, then Elway's out. When he says, okay, I'm out, John Elway. And not only that, but he lied and said, oh, I'm actually living with Von Miller. No, you're not, Johnny. You just don't want the world to know that you're actually living with a guy that you probably already knew at that point. This was a couple nights ago. Had, again, reportedly tested positive once again. A Josh Gordon who's as troubled, if not more so, than you. So, Johnny, what are we doing here? Where are we heading here? Because we still have a grand jury convened over his potential or alleged domestic violence in Dallas-Fort Worth, and we don't know how that's going to turn out. We don't know how the league will rule on his punishment after that. And he's outside of nice guy in West Hollywood, putting that down on tape. It just turns my stomach. And I used to love this kid so much, and now he and Josh are headed so down the wrong path that it's getting scarier by the video.
Well, here's the thing. What they're highlighting, Skip, is that, as you would say, they clearly have a problem. And I'll tell you what the ultimate proof is that they have a problem. The fact that they're willing to be around one another, knowing that they both have their demons to fight off, knowing that they both have their demons to battle, and knowing that the NFL is hovering over them, willing to judge every little increment about their life to see, are you individuals that we want in this league? Now, in fairness to Josh Gordon, let's say this about Johnny Manziel. Josh Gordon, as problematic as he may be, may not be better off than Johnny Manziel because he doesn't come from oil money, but he's better off overall. Because Johnny Manziel supposedly has an issue with alcohol, might have an issue with other things, has gotten behind the wheel of a car while after drinking, and allegedly put his hands on a woman. That is a quadruple blow against Johnny Manziel. So in comparison, perhaps it's incumbent upon us to give Josh Gordon a pass in that regard. But the reason why I'm so emphatic about Josh Gordon compared to Johnny Manziel, certainly I don't want you behind the wheel of a car endangering the lives of others. And certainly I don't want you putting your hands on a woman. Those two things we get, let's say that. But outside of that, why I'm so emphatic about Josh Gordon compared to Johnny Manziel is that Josh Gordon doesn't come from oil money. Josh Gordon doesn't come from a life of affluence. And as a result, his mistakes are more palpable and more poignant and more emphatic because they have the opportunity or the chance of decimating a life that he worked so hard to build and a life that he also worked hard to transcend from. In the case of Johnny Manziel, football is truly a game to him. It's like a toy. And so if you're not prioritizing it, I don't want you hurting anybody else. I don't want you hurting yourself. But the flip side to it is that as long as you're not doing harm to other human beings and you're not getting behind the wheels of cars inebriated, then you made your decision because it's your life and it's just that simple. And that's just the way that I look at it. I wouldn't touch Johnny Manziel right now based on that video, just like you just said. I'd run from him like the plague because you can't take the chance of putting him in a position where he is leading other men as the quarterback of your franchise when it clearly appears he's not focused on football. He is holding the livelihoods of individuals in the palm of his hands as a quarterback for a franchise. And when you are willing to go on TMZ and look like that, there's nothing to say. Other than you wish him well, you hope that he's safe, and you hope that he doesn't do something to harm himself. But you're right, Skip, I'm with you. I have nothing to say any longer. I really don't.
At the end of the video, you hear Johnny say, "I love ball." I question that, how much you really love football. Because I've talked to a number of people close to Johnny, who at least used to be close to Johnny, who know Johnny better than I know Johnny. And all I ever hear is that he prioritizes partying over football. That's all you need to know. And we've seen it with Johnny, that he can't really be happy partying straight, if you will. He needs to be in some altered state while he's partying to enjoy it the way he wants to enjoy it. And if that's his priority, if that's what he wants out of life, is to party the rest of his life away, I got no more sympathy, Stephen A., because I'm about out of words. That's his choice, free country. Have fun, Johnny. Enjoy the nightlife, because there's going to come a point where TMZ won't even be interested in interviewing you at some point 5-6 years from now.
Amen.
Say for the 100th.
And it'll be sooner than that.
Yep, might be.
For the 100th time, these guys have an opportunity of a lifetime. It's so difficult to be in the NFL, and it's a shame. Hope they can turn